what is the most important thing you ever learned during the cookie business?
I think something important that I learned for me was that I was able to learn how to deal with the money and how to deal with the finance part of it. I was able to calculate how much I would need to put aside to buy more ingredients, and then how much profit I was making, and I needed to not spend all of it so that I would have enough to buy more ingredients later when I needed more cookies. And that was not only helpful then, but it's also helpful now because I'm able to keep track of how much money I earn and spend, and be aware of how much money I have.
So you learned kind of the finance and accounting kind of part, so you learned how to use money, and that was really important. I feel like that's important in all businesses. What was the hardest part there?
It was just hard to make sure that I was not overspending or putting too much aside, but I was able to kind of get that figured out after a little bit, because I'd been doing it for a while, so it was pretty smooth sailing from there on.
So did you have a budget for yourself?
I did not. I just started with the amount of money that I had in my bank account, and I went from there. So I purchased all the ingredients and then started making the cookies and then would deliver them. I didn't really have a budget, but I was able to get by, and it actually worked out pretty well. I was happy with how it turned out.
So that's cool. Don't need a budget. Next question. What did you put on your flyers? We talked about advertising earlier, but what information, contact information, all the information. Also, did you put it on Facebook or any app like that?
Sure, yeah. So on the flyers, I basically put down a quick summary of what I was doing so people would know what the business was that I was running. So I told them that I would do delivery to their doorstep. They didn't need to come pick it up or anything. And I told them the days that I would deliver. So that was Saturdays, I believe. And usually around late Saturday morning. And then I also told them the amount of cookies they could buy for how much. So how much a dozen cookies would cost, how much 2 dozen cookies would cost, and then also how much a dozen cookies for every week for a month would cost, and how much 2 dozen cookies every week for a month would cost.
Next question. What was the hardest part ever of the cookie business?
I think what was really hard for me was actually in the beginning, was just starting it and getting my mind around the idea. I didn't have a super solid idea of what I wanted to do, of how I wanted to do it. I knew what I wanted to do. I didn't know how exactly to do it. But so something super hard for me was pricing it right. I didn't want to price it too high because then nobody would want to buy, but I also didn't want to price it too low so that I wasn't making enough money to be able to buy ingredients for the next batches and also have profit left over. So it was hard for me to figure out how to price it, but I was able to come up with that, the right price that I think worked out pretty well. And then something that was also hard for me was reaching out to other people and letting them know about the cookie business. So I originally delivered the flyers to about 20 families, but I wanted more business than that, so it was hard for me to figure out how to make that happen. But some friends, I think my mom posted about it on her social media, and some of her friends reached out to her and asked if I could deliver to them, so that ended up being really good. So it was definitely hard for me to figure out the pricing and how to figure out the customers, but I think that it worked pretty well.
Okay, thank you so much for doing this. It's been so helpful, and
yeah, no problem.
Yeah, it's been great, and I hope we can get you some other time, and I hope you can start your business again.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye.